Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to talk about the Bahamas. What happened, what's happening now, and what it can teach us about talking points in the United States. Okay, so what happened? A Cat 5 hurricane, one of the strongest on record. Winds had gusts up to 220 miles an hour. That's a tornado that's tens of miles wide. The storm surge was 20 feet. 3 feet of rainfall on top of that. Whole communities were destroyed. The current estimates put it at 70,000 homeless and displaced. Keep in mind, the Bahamas only has 400,000 people. 15,000 with no food and displaced. Thousands missing. No clue as to what the human toll of this disaster is yet. This is a humanitarian disaster of biblical proportions. This is huge. This is a massive issue. And the Trump administration will not grant them temporary protected status. I guess they're not real refugees either, right? See, we've heard this before. Those coming up on the southern border, well, they're not real refugees. They're just seeking asylum as a loophole. They're not real. It's not really, they're not really in a bad way. You can see this live. You can see this live on the Weather Channel. You know how bad it is. But we're not going to give them status. Okay. And the administration is saying, well, it wasn't their call. Maybe that's true. Maybe they just fostered the environment within DHS that makes it seem as though a call like this would be unappreciated by the president to grant them status. Maybe they didn't make it. Maybe Trump didn't make it. That's a possibility. He just fostered the climate to deny everything. That is totally possible. They're acting as though their hands are tied. That is not true. There's a thing called parole. And with parole, if they were to grant them that status, they can admit them without, quote, totally proper documentation. Because, when your home gets destroyed, you may not have access to that. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's what's happening in the Bahamas. We are abandoning our responsibilities as human beings. We are engaging in something that is just un-American, unprecedented, and disgraceful. We are leaving people to die. People will die. And what, we're going to send people back, refuse to grant them status and send them back to islands with no sanitation. Yeah. Now, a lot of the news outlets are saying, well, what you need to do is go down there to the places that are open and spend money. Because a lot of those major resorts are owned by investors in the United States who are friends with the owners of the news outlets. But since none of those investors thought enough of the people of the Bahamas to reach out to their hotel owner buddy president and demand help, maybe that's not the best thing to do. Maybe it's not. Maybe instead you go to bahamas.com/relief and figure out what to do with there. Figure out what you can do to help from there. Going down there and ostensibly spending money that is just going to be filtered back out of the country isn't going to help. It isn't going to help. If you want to help, you need to put pressure on your representatives. That's what you need to do. This is a disaster of biblical proportions, and we are ignoring it because the President of the United States is a xenophobe. It's that simple. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.